So today we got a V8 here. Someone's been into it, ripped it all apart. No distributor. Most of it's there. Just gotta do this, do that. I don't know, the guy needs it to run. So, first of all, I want to start by saying that I want to dedicate this video to Ken. You know, what do you do when you come to a motor? You don't know where it's at, how it's timed. So, the first thing you do is you got to get the relationship on the number one hole. Number one hole, of course, is on the left side, closest to the grill. Well, make that the driver's side, closest to the grill. That's number one hole. Chevy's 1357 down the left side, 2468 down the right side, down the passenger side. So, you know, the first stroke goes down, the intake valve opens, and it comes up, comes back to top dead center, and that's where you want to be. If you keep going, plug's going to fire, down it goes. That's the third stroke, the power stroke. Then it comes back up, evacuates, starts all over again. So that's where you want to time it, when the piston's on the second stroke coming up, the compression stroke, and it gets ready to fire. So at that point, it's going to fire, let's just say roughly 12 degrees before top dead center. That's where you're going to set it. That is set statically. Engine off. You get in there after, once it's running, set it dynamically, but that's what you got to do. That's the most important thing. That's the first thing you got to do, is you have to determine when that sucker's going to fire, and that the distributor is firing on that hole at that time. Everything else falls into place. Distributor goes 1843657 it's magic. But if you don't start with that, you're lost. And that's your number one mission. You got to get the motor and the distributor synced, phased, if you will, so that it's going to run. Of course, we don't know if this thing's going to run or not, but whatever. You got to start somewhere, and everybody's in the same boat. That's where you start. Because if you don't start there, if there is nothing else wrong with it, it's not going to run anyway. But if you don't know where you're at, you know, I can even back that up a little bit. If you don't know where top dead center is on your motor, you're lost. You know, I've seen top fuel guys. You know, this is back a little ways. Oh, we put a new motor in it. Yeah, that's great. Where's top dead center? I don't know. We think it's about here. You know, just crazy. When that motor's on the stand, you can dial in top dead center exactly where it is, no matter what the dampener says. You know, and more than likely, it's not going to be exactly where, you know, the dampener says it's going to be. There's all kinds of things. The two-piece dampeners with rubber in between them, and they move. You know, the outer ring moves one way or the other, and you know, just, you can buy more expensive ones, but which I suggest you do, because if you don't know where top dead center is, you're lost. You're at the racetrack. You got a top fuel motor. I'm ready to fire it up. Where's TDC? We don't know. We didn't mark it when we had it apart. We're rushing to get to this race. Okay. Wow. You know, so I don't care if this looks like it says it's a Goodwrench target motor. I don't care if it's what it is. anywhere from to a Goodwrench target motor to a top fuel motor, do yourself a favor. Know where top dead center is on your motor. Know that for sure. All right, and mark it so that you know. So when you get to this stage from the engine stand, you know exactly what's going on. You know where top dead center is. So, you know, what we did here is we got it and then we taped it. You know, we put tape on a harmonic balancer. Yeah, you get it from MSD. The MSD tape that goes on the balancer. So we know exactly where it is. We got a pointer put in there. And there's a couple different styles, you know. This one, you got to look behind the water pump. I don't know who came up with that. And the original timing tab that was on there was welded on there, you know, like, and you had to look down through it. It was a tube about an inch long, and yeah, that's where you had it. It's just freaking ridiculous. But anyway, the old ones were over on the right about 2 o'clock. They had a removable timing tab. And they were just much easier to deal with. However, that's not what this has. So you got to work with what you got, unfortunately. But know where top dead center is. If you don't, you're just chasing your tail. All right, as I mentioned before, this part of the video, there'll be other installments after this one, but they're all kind of dedicated to Ken, but this particular one is really the dedication to Ken. You know, he's not really my friend. I know him, and if I was around him, he'd be my friend because he's just a really likable guy. You might know him. He's got that black. What is it? It's like 68 to 72 C10. I think it's a short bed. He's on there. He's on YouTube. That's the only way I know him. But you know, I watch his videos, and because he was building that truck, and he had issues, all kinds of issues. I think he's still having issues. They did take it on a test drive. They drove it down the driveway. Him and his daughter got in it. It's a big block. It was a nice truck. And so that's that. Okay. I'm out of here. I got work to do. Carry on, wayward sons and daughters.